Greetings, dear ones. We are the High Council of Orion. And we welcome you to this space and this moment that we share that transcends time, that transcends space, that transcends limitation. And we continue our message about the energy of channeling. For so many of you desire this as a pathway. And so many of you who have these strong desires actually have the desire and feel that you can never realize it, that you do not have the right capacities, you don't have the right gifts and talents that you've already cultivated. You don't have the sensitivity of your awareness. You're not psychic enough. You're not intuitive enough. You're not aware of the subtle energies the same way you see other people. And what we're here to share with you today is that the energy and the potential, the possibility of channeling is no different than the times that you've had in your life that you will all know and understand very well, where there was something you didn't know and somebody taught you, or you learned on your own how to do that thing. Now, the frame of reference tends to be things and accomplishments that happen typically in your third dimensional experience. When you were born, you had the innate capacity to walk. You had the innate capacity to feed yourself. You had the innate capacity to run. You had the innate capacity to read and ride a bike and play sports and dance and sing. You had the innate capacity to relate to other human beings, and on and on and on. But there was a point where you didn't know how to do it. And then you grew into that capacity, so much so that many, 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 many things have been accomplished. And one could say, well, those happened naturally. But the truth is, those things that happen naturally, such as walking, running, speaking, all the things that you've learned to do in your life, that you've in a sense taken for granted. You say, well, that's just what we do here in this dimension, as we come in unable to do these things and we grow into learning them. But the truth is, your innate capacity was there, and then you learned how to do them. You practiced. You maybe fell down a few times or many times as you were learning to walk. You probably dropped much food as you were learning to eat. You might have fallen as you learned to ride your bike. You might not have made every soccer goal that you tried for. Yet you kept at it, correct? Why? Because there was something intrinsically inside of you that you knew you could walk, you could feed yourself, you could play soccer, you could play the piano, you could read a book, you could write, and you could do all the things. So now, you all know why this is being said, correct? This is the same innate capacity that you have to channel, which means that you are connected to the energetic information sources that you're immersed in all the time. That's what channeling is. You are connected to the energetic information systems that you are immersed in all the time. Now, why don't you know how to channel? Because it wasn't part of your developmental reinforcement when you were young, correct? Could it be that while you were learning to write and read and run and play sports and dance and do all the things that you did, could you have been taught to understand subtle energies and work with them and bring them through? Absolutely. So there's no failing on your part from our perspective. There's no lack of ability. There's just lack of practice, lack of understanding how to practice. And when one looks at it from this point of view, it's not about whether you're gifted or not. It's a question of, would you like to practice? Would you like to learn? Is this an area you would like to grow in? And if you do, then are you willing to say, it's my innate capacity and I haven't exercised those muscles yet. I haven't learned to do this, but the fact that I haven't learned to do this doesn't make me incomplete. It doesn't make me not potent in order to be able to do it. Of course you can do it. It's innately part of who you are, just like all the other things you've accomplished if you wish. So as you begin to open up once again to this potential of, this is innately mine. I have everything it takes to be able to do this. Just like I did when I learned to walk. Just like I did when I learned to sing. Just like I did when I learned to paint. Just like I did when I learned to do my multiplication tables, and on and on and on. How many things have you already learned that you just take for granted? So this wasn't part of your life curriculum yet, but that doesn't mean it's not part of your potential. So open yourself up to the idea that if you desire to channel, and so many of you do, it is just as much a potential for you as any of the other things that you've desired in life that at some point you didn't know how to do, and then you learned how to do it. And some of you are masters at some of those things, correct? So here's our fun little homework assignment for you in our channeled message today. Start to begin to make a list to prove to yourself that there are more things than you care to put on a list of things that you did not know how to do since the day you incarnated. You didn't know how to do it, and now you do. So much so that you take it for granted. Make a list and be able to prove to yourself that all of those were innate gifts within you that you didn't know how to do, and then somehow you worked to achieve them. Whether it was the biological imperative of not being able to move your body around so much, to then sitting up and crawling and toddling and walking and then running. Or it's something that you mastered where you first learned to count and then do basic math and maybe very advanced math in stages. Start making a list of all the things that were innately in your capacity. And as you grew older and older, the things that you've learned to do when you've been out of compulsory situations such as compulsory education, there are many things that you've learned to do because it's in your own desire field. Make a list of those. What are the things that I wasn't obligated to learn, but my passion drove me to learn them? Maybe you're an acupuncturist because of that. Maybe you're a master gardener. Maybe you're somebody in the medical profession really dedicated to people's optimal way of living. Maybe you're a poet. Maybe you're a high-level athlete who climbs mountains, takes boats down rapids. Maybe you are a teacher. Maybe you're a spiritual healer. At some point you did not know, and you took yourself on that journey, following your desire. So if channeling feels like a place that you desire to go, allow yourself to look at these lists that you can create and really anchor in that you have so much potential And your potential to channel is there as well. And we want to take you on a journey for those of you who desire, not just from your potential, to actually realize your potential. For one critical aspect of this awakening process, this ascension process, is to be able to understand what's yet to come. Not from a place of prophecy, but to guide your life towards those ideals, towards the next step of your soul's unfolding. Even in your human experience, this is possible. And you being able to tap into those beautiful fields of infinite potential that you're immersed in all the time to support you and encourage you to move forward through the experience of channeling the information systems that you're always immersed in. This is a beautiful gift. So make your lists, celebrate all that you've accomplished, and recognize that if your desire field has channeling in it, it's possible. You can do it just the way you've been so successful at so many things up until now. You will be able to continue with that energy and being in that vortex of success in the realm of channeling if you so desire. Be blessed. We are the High Council of Orion.